Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for being here. We're Team Pueo, and our capstone project was on recruiting and benefits package. Before we dive in, a quick introduction. My name is Lennox Wallet. I studied psychology and business management at Columbia University. Post-grad, I'll be working in commercial real estate.
Hi, how's it going, everyone? I'm Julian Graves. I graduated from Florida Atlantic University with a mechanical engineering degree back in 2017. After that, I joined the Navy as a nuclear submarine officer. Following the MSBA-BA program, I will be starting a nuclear ops supervisor role at Next Era Energy down in South Florida.
My name is Nick Comer. I graduated from Virginia Tech with a degree in business information technology. This fall, I'm working for KPMG as a trade customs analyst.
I'm Sabrina Dinkay Lewis. I graduated from Virginia Tech with a bachelor's in human resource management, and post-graduation I'll be working for Pueo as a junior HR specialist.
We want to give a big thank you to the Pueo team that made this possible, and our faculty advisor, Dr. Jameson, for providing a lot of context and nuance to really help elevate our final product. Pueo Business Solutions is a small government contracting firm that specializes in cybersecurity. They have a renowned benefits package, which has won numerous awards over the years. This has allowed them to attract top-tier talent and win contract after contract. With this success, they have grown out of the small business classification, and now in the near future will be classified as a large business. This means they will have to compete with large companies for contracts such as Leidos and no longer compete in the small pond of small businesses. Moving on to our problem statement. We have, how can Pueo optimize its benefits package to stay competitive, yet still attract and recruit the top tier talent that's made them successful? We gathered our data from 4 different places. First, we benchmarked Pueo with all the companies in the industry to see where they stack up. Next, we met with industry experts who specialize in bringing businesses from the small to the large sector, and we took away concrete points to help out Pueo. Third, we worked with the recruiting team per session and performed data analytics to understand what recruiting trends were important and prevalent to understand. And lastly, the creme de la crop, our best piece of data came from the employee survey. Here we surveyed Pueo employees, and we're able to see tangible points that they value the most with data analytics. Now I'm going to pass it over to Nick to talk about our conclusions.
Thanks, Lennox. Upon completing our analysis of the different forms of data we gathered, the capstone team has come up with a few recommendations for how Pueo could potentially restructure their benefits package. Our first suggestion was for them to adjust their 401k contribution. Currently, they offer a 4.5% contribution with no expectation for their employees to match it. This is one of their strongest benefits, potentially their best compared to competitors, but it's also one of their most expensive. Listening to the feedback given by their employees in our survey and from our industry experts, our capstone team suggests that they change their current system to require their employees to match the 4.5%. This would reduce Pueo's direct financial obligation for each employee who does not match the full percentage, as long as they encourage their employees to invest in their own retirement. We also looked at their PTO system, where they're currently offering 120 hours of paid time off outside of sick leave. This is a fixed benefit that's equal for everybody, but also comes with a financial drawback in the form of an accrued liability. With this in mind, and to potentially create more cost savings, we've given them 2 options for how they can restructure. One option would be to implement a tenure-based policy, which would tie the number of hours each employee gets off either to their employee level or their tenure at the company. Another option would be an unlimited leave PTO system. This is incredibly appealing to new employees and comes with the financial benefit of removing that accrued liability of paying out unused PTO when an employee leaves the company. Now, making any sort of adjustments to your 401k contribution or your PTO could potentially negatively impact your employee satisfaction. That's why our team has also identified a couple low-cost, high-impact additions that Pueo could implement during this transition. A couple of the suggestions included giving everyone their birthday off, implemented as a floating holiday, giving everybody 8 hours of paid volunteer work that they could use either individually or their company organized event, or giving everyone a gym discount or wellness benefit. Along with these 3 suggestions, we emphasize the importance of Pueo's delivery and rollout during this transition. It's crucial that their employees understand why these changes are happening, why they're happening now, and how this is going to benefit Pueo in the future. And now I'll hand it off to Jules to talk about the economic analysis.
Thanks, Nick. Moving on, there was a few factors that we needed to consider when revamping this benefits package, but the primary goal was to save the company some money. So with this in mind, we built a couple tools to help with the economic analysis for the Pueo leadership team. To start, we looked at the 401k. Currently, they're offering a 4.5% automatic contribution, which is a hefty cost for them. To help with their estimation, we roughly estimated about 4% being a max contribution. This number is adjustable to be 4.5 or higher as well. Then we looked at a rough estimate of how much each employee would contribute on their own, which would then transfer over to how much Pueo would be contributing themselves. This gives us an overall average contribution of 3.65%, giving us savings of over $1,000 per employee, total savings of over 100K. In addition, we also looked at PTO. For the paid time off, they are currently offering 120 hours, and we looked at the two recommendations we made, the tenure-based policy as well as the unlimited PTO policy. With both of these, we estimated how many hours of PTO would be taken for the year per employee. We then looked at a rough estimate of their average salary and then came up with a total cost for PTO for both of these recommendations. At the bottom here, we have highlighted in green the total savings per employee. All of these numbers are adjustable in the Excel file to more accurately match what Pueo has. But to start with building the tool, we gave some rough estimates. Now I'll pass it off to Sabrina to wrap things up for us.
Thank you, Julian. So for the key takeaways that we found from this program, the first one that we'd like to discuss is the most impactful insights that we learned from our project, which is how companies truly value their benefits to their employees. And this is how it really sets companies apart from each other. Benefits are a lot more than just a perk to their employees. It's truly how companies value and care about their people. Next, we'd like to give advice to the next cohort, which is savor the moment. The year goes by very fast, so it's really important to cherish the time you have with the people that you meet. And lastly, we'd like to address the program as a whole. It's much more than just learning technical skills. It's about learning professionalism, how to think critically, and communicate clearly with one another. And most importantly, you grow among mentors who truly care about student success. It's been an incredible journey, and we'd really like to thank the CBA staff, Dr. Jameson, and Pueo for helping us support us through this journey. We'll now open the floor to any questions anyone may have.
So essentially, in the government contracting space, your bids are based off of your overhead. So they need to reduce overhead, and Pueo is working in many ways to become more efficient, become more cost effective. And the scope of our project was just optimizing the benefits package, making sure it was lean and something that fit in well with Pueo's new cost restraints.
You presented your recommendations because of particular benefits to impact company culture. How receptive did your clients seem to be to this, and how well do they feel like this would fit with the kind of place they think they are?
You can see. So when we presented to our client, they're very receptive to all the information that we gave them during our weekly meetings that we had with them. We did discuss before we gave our final recommendation, just to make sure that we were all on the same page. When it came to just implementing it all, we really came down to just making sure that employees understand why the change is being happening. That way they're not blindsided